What's the channel called? YouTube.
Hello everybody and welcome to This Is a Talk Show Holiday Special. I have a little change of pace for you today. I normally like to start with the show with a song, but as befits 2020, I have started my holiday season by getting sick. And no, I don't have COVID. I just have a regular ass cold, but it sucks because I haven't been sick all year and I've kind of forgotten how. So I can't sing. I can't really do anything except what I'm going to do for you today. So I know this is a rough time for a lot of people because we can't do so many of our normal holiday traditions. We can't get together. We can't go caroling. We can't do anything. So what I thought I would do is I would share some of my, excellent homemaking and hostessing and entertaining skills because if you know me, you know I'm basically Martha Stewart. We're sort of the same person. And I thought I would do a little presentation today on how you can bring holiday magic into your life in the age of COVID. And let me turn on my tinkly piano music I recorded for you guys earlier. Come on, start. Here we go. There we go. So, holiday magic in the time of COVID. How can we create beautiful holiday experiences when we can't do any of our usual holiday stuff? What do you think, guys? Here's my number one piece of advice. Don't even try. You can't do it. It will not be the same. It will just make you sad. And it will make everybody else you're trying to recreate it with sad. So just don't do it. It's just not going to happen. It's over and it's done. This isn't going to be your Hallmark family Christmas this year. However, here is what you can do. You can be nice to yourself. Is there some part of Christmas that you don't like? Do you not like that weird thing where there's, unshelled nuts everywhere and you have to open them with a crowbar? Don't do it. Do you have a relative you really can't stand? You don't have to go visit them. Look on the bright side. There's all sorts of stuff you get out of and you get to just pamper yourself. And you can also be nice to other people within reason. You don't have to be nice to people who are trying to get you to break social distancing recommendations because they want you to eat their turkey. You just don't have to do it. You can tell your aunt to just F off and you're not going this year. You can do the holiday things you like and not the other ones. So you know what I love? I love advent calendars. When I bought them for my kids this year, I bought one for myself too. And I hid it in the closet because those little jerks would steal every little bit of candy out of it if I let them. So you can pick your own holiday traditions. It's no who's going to stop you. If you love one particular holiday food, cook it and eat it with just your immediate family or just by yourself. If it doesn't feel like Christmas, if you haven't argued with your most racist uncle, do it over Zoom. And then when it gets really bad, you can just hang up and pretend your Wi-Fi cut out. It's like magic. You can eat lots of chocolate. I mean, you can do that anyway, but you can really, really eat lots of chocolate. And you can remember, there is always next year. 2020 is not the end of time. I know it feels like it, but it's not. And before I hand off to Adam, I want to remind all of you, the goal of 2020 was just survival. I don't know about you, but I am killing it this year as I'm still alive. You did great. And don't let yourself believe otherwise. And on that note, I'm going to hand you over to your host, Mr. Adam Bailey. Just plain old Adam Bailey.
Hello, everybody. It is that magic end of year time where we get to do year-end roundups and talk about all of the fun that we had in the year that went behind us. But it's 2020, so as Kristin says, that's kind of screwed the pooch. I mean, 2020 is naturally a very weird year. It started in March and it lasted a decade. Now, I know there are some purists out there who are going to tell me something like January and February are both months that are included within years. But I argue that any month that had a Super Bowl party in it or had me going out for brunch with friends does not count as part of 2020. In fact, I don't even know how 2020 had an Oscars. And I'm a huge Oscar fan. I mean, it comes with my territory. And I gotta say, I can't remember that year. And normally at this time of year, I would be making lists of my favorite movies. But like a lot of you, I didn't see any new movies this year. Everything that I saw was something on my catch-up list. So my big end of year recommendations are from 2016 and 2019. I mean, see these, they're great movies, but they're also not from 2020. And I know, like a lot of you, I caught up on a lot of reading this year, but my summer reading list was not a traditional summer reading list. But then again, this was not a summer that allowed us to be focused on the frivolities of entertainment. 2020 was, however, a year where we got to be entertained by Donald J. Trump finally being voted out of office. And that gave us some of the most frightening and also hilarious moments of the year. I mean, none of us will ever hear the words 4 seasons the exact same way ever again. In fact, anytime Rudy Giuliani gets mentioned with hotel room, a shiver will go down our collective spines. Yes, this is the year of America's Trump dump. But unlike the turd we thought we were all going to get to flush down the toilet, Donald Trump seems to want to cling to power with frivolous lawsuit after frivolous lawsuit getting repeatedly thrown out of the courts. And so he is much more like that hardened piece of constipation that hangs half in and half out of your sphincter, forcing you to stay seated on the john for far too long until your legs fall asleep and your butt is numb. And if you're in the old age home, this is when you get to call in the nurse to help extract that piece of turd by hand. At least we all had streaming services this year, like Netflix. We might not remember what we watched this year, but we always had something available to distract us. And Netflix does give us one of the strangest themes that does travel through 2020, because Netflix gave us this year's best animal shows. In March, we were all in love with this drug-addled gay throuple and their abuse of tigers and how that led all of them to be either in jail or behind bars. But that is not the weirdest thing that Netflix has given us this year. No, if you want softcore but dad bod action, you can watch this man suckle an octopus on his nipple in My Octopus Teacher. I mean, seriously, there are some things that octopuses just shouldn't teach. And if you thought that perhaps the CGI documentary about evolution and how it might occur on other planets called Alien Words was a safe bet for you and your family, well, you were wrong. It was hardcore beetle on beetle action. And if there's one thing, much like watching voyeuristically two beetles enjoy each other's companies in this way, 2020 has taught us to enjoy the smaller things. I myself have gotten to enjoy Toronto's ravine system, a hidden treasure of this beautiful city that we live in. I've learned to enjoy not taking transit and taking longer walks. And I've learned to enjoy being on Zoom with you a lot more. In fact, 2020 allowed Kristin and I to restart this show, a show that is focused on independent artists. We got to see all sorts of people this year, from comedians to musicians. We saw actors and podcasters, gaming programmers, yarn gurus, cabaret artists, all independent performers who normally got you out to bars and cafes and art houses and small theaters, who this year got to come into your homes because we were all on our computers anyways. And we got to see people from across Canada and across the United States of America this year on this show. And so I am very thankful for that. And I am also thankful for my co-host, Kristin Mueller-Heaslip. Kristin, come on back.
Hello. Happy holidays,
Hello.
Adam.
Happy holidays. It's Hanukkah started 2 nights ago, and
Mm-hmm.
my partner is very distractingly making me latkes in the other room, so I'm going to be hungry this entire show.
Oh no.
Um, Speaking of weight gain over the holidays, did you hear this little piece of news?
I did. In fact, I have a slide of it. Human-made materials now outweigh Earth's entire biomass. So all of the crap that we have created, mostly concrete, according to this article, which is apparently the heaviest thing that we frequently use, now weighs more than every living thing on Earth combined. And that includes like whales and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. We're all focused on gaining weight over the holidays, and that's where my brain went with that. I'm just like, how are you surviving?
Yeah. How am I surviving personally?
Yeah, you've got 2 kids. It's Christmas time. Are you doing that creepy elf on the shelf thing?
God, no. Oh my God. No way. No, I've never done that. It's way too much work because you have to move it around and pretend that it's like spying on your children. But it's also like, it's very creepy. I don't want to. But you know what? I did invite a special guest to be on here with us today because I thought he would bring a little bit of holiday cheer. So I'd love to invite a really extra special guest today who is an actual elf. Come on in.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello. I'm an elf.
Hello, elf.
Okay. Hi, elf.
I was invited here. I just want to say that elves, we don't often get onto talk shows. It's usually Santa Claus, and a part of probably why we don't get on to talk shows is we don't exist.
Yes, I can see part of you is fading out of existence as we speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to kind of come in and out.
I'm a mythical being.
Well, I mean, mythical beings exist as long as you believe in them.
Apparently, you don't believe in my hands too much, do you? No, I'm more of an embodiment of what people should be doing, which is doing things without looking for compensation, like going out and volunteering, helping out your neighbors, doing things for friends and family. I'm an embodiment of that. And apparently I may be disappearing because people aren't doing that very much.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people have a hard time thinking about others. Something as simple as putting on a mask and wearing it out in public seems to be a hard thing for people. Are you masking up in the North Pole?
Well, I actually have this quadrant of the world, and there's not a lot of people here, so I don't currently need a mask, but I have a really good mask that I've made out of some twigs and some snow.
Right.
Well, I mean, as long as you stay in cold areas, twigs and snow will definitely do something to protect your face. And is Santa taking any precautions this year? I know going from house to house, there's some worry about him being a super spreader.
Well, as I said, Santa doesn't exist. He's just an embodiment of what we should do in human nature of being generous to others and giving gifts and sharing time with each other. He doesn't exist.
Well, I'm glad I checked that not made for children box when I put this up on YouTube. So
yeah, no, that's lying to children. That's making them believe things that don't exist. We've learned that in 2020 that fake news is probably a bad thing to give to children, to let them know that it's okay for adults to make up things and lie to them, to coerce them to do things. Maybe this is the beginning of a bad thing, and we should maybe reconsider the whole treatment we have around Santa and elves.
Okay, so you're here to remind us to do good to each other and to not lie to our children about Santa, because then they'll become
Fox
mega hat
News,
wearers?
yeah, watchers.
Yeah, they'll be easily duped. So yeah, it's within you to be generous. It's within you to help out others. Don't put this on mythical creatures to do this. This is something you should do.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Elf. That was really eye-opening, and I think I'm gonna have to think about some of the holiday things that I'm doing that could benefit other people too, as opposed to just surviving for my own sake. Maybe think about some charities that we can, you know, give money to, or
maybe share some of those latkes.
sharing the latkes. I can mail you a latke.
Mail me a latke. It'll get here in January sometime, but it's the thought that counts.
I highly recommend sharing vodka. That's a great idea.
Vodka and latkes, well, they're made from the same thing. So that's
right.
I wonder if that's why the words rhyme. They're both made from potatoes.
Let's say that there's something we can all be thankful for, is the humble potato. Well, thank you for spreading that realistic bit of holiday cheer, Dave the Elf. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And we hope to see you soon. Maybe on our shelves, not lying to our children.
Yeah, no, invading the privacy of children. Again, bad idea, and not what elves are all about. It's not part of the myth. So please don't do that. Don't do that.
There, you have it from the horse's mouth. The elf on the shelf is creepy, and don't do it.
Okay.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow, that
yeah.
I don't know if that took away my holiday ennui or not. That kind of left me not like I'm still, now I'm thinking about what charities I need to be promoting. Food Share Toronto is a really good one. They you know, educate people who live in food deserts, and they help people learn how to grow their own food. And during the Black Lives Matters protests, if you identified as Black, they would give you a free food box if you went to a protest, so you could quarantine for the next week or two. So that's a good charity. Do you have a charity that you want to recommend right now that we've been reminded that we should be giving money to?
I will recommend the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal. There is a homelessness crisis happening, an eviction crisis happening, and they do really great work in the Native community here.
Good. I mean, you know what? That's a good thing. Now that we've had that reminder from Dave the Elf, I feel like I got a little bit of that holiday hat back on, where it's not just about my sadness about not seeing grandma and grandpa and wassailing through my hometown. It's also, there's other people who might need more than I do, and I should share my privileges with people at this time of year.
Good attitude. Thank you, Dave the Elf. That was actually very helpful.
Thank you, Dave the Elf. Well, it's time for us to get moving with our wonderful guests that we have. First up this week, we have the Gorcey family, Mark and Hillary, who run the Gorcey Family Band and create all sorts of bespoke Christmas videos and perform at the Lunacy Cabaret. Everyone, it's Mark and Hillary Gorcey.
Wait, should I be? Okay, sorry.
So which one of you is Mark and which one of you is Hillary?
I'm Hillary.
And by process of elimination, that means that fella beside just Mark.
Sure, thanks.
So how are you guys doing this holiday season?
Okay, we're not doing too bad. You know, we're doing the traditional holiday stuff, all indoors, and kind of a bit scaled down this year. But we're happy to do it. We're happy to have, we're trying to be thankful, like you said.
Now, for our audience, so they get to know a little bit about who you are, you're both musicians, you both work with puppets, and you've done a variety of art installations from Nuit Blanche to the Rock and Roll Puppet Show. We got to work together on a fringe show called The Enchanted Crack House once upon a time that you were both writers working on. What else would you like to let the audience know about the art that you create? Because you create some very interesting art.
Well, we consider ourselves subversively interactive troubadours. So we try to insert our musical process of engaging with people, reaching out and getting everyone to sing along. And it's actually secretly, insidiously telling them about, thinking about a better life where art and life are integrated, where there's no barriers and no specialization and no barriers of economic barriers or class barriers between people. So of course we do music, we do puppet shows, we do comedy, we've done, well, what else have we done? We've done lots of things. Nuit Blanche, we were the core of the Lunacy band. Mm-hmm. We started out working with a guy named Sky Shaver, and he kind of recognized us. He picked us out of a bar called the Old York, and thought we might have some talented, so he got us to back him up. So we were Sky Shaver and the Gorcey Family Band until we parted ways amicably, and then we make Christmas videos. We run the Rock and Robin sing along at Mooseman.
And I've seen you do like large scale, full band, street level karaoke's where you invite people off the street to come and pick a song out of a songbook, and they will get to sing. And you'll have a group of professional musicians working there, and they will all play like a high quality version of that song. And sometimes non-professional musicians will come up and be allowed to pick up instruments too. You give instruments to everyone that attends that wants to play one. That's a big part of your practice, is it not?
Yeah, totally. When Nuit Blanche kind of emerged into Toronto, we both loved the idea and really disliked the idea, because especially as time went on, because what we understood when we heard about it would be sort of a place for everyone to create art and go see art, and it would be like everyone kind of showing their own participatory art became a really kind of crowded, overblown, expensive grants for huge artists to have people line up and see. So right from the beginning, we took it on ourselves to kind of make it what we wanted it to be, which was, I guess, interactive and participatory installation of music.
Renegade.
Yeah, I guess like
we joined like this thing called the Rue des Refusés, which was a whole section that had no permits, no listings anywhere, just in the middle of it all, and a bunch of interactive stuff.
Stephanie, and I can't remember her last name right now, she kind of spearheaded like her own program of renegade artists, of the same like-minded people who wanted to make Nuit Blanche something that was everyone could celebrate and kind of perform in and create art in. And we were just like a little marching band, and we carried around a little garden wagon with music books with lyrics and instruments that anyone could play.
Yep.
And we just dressed up and sang songs.
Yep. Gave songbooks out to little kids in the street and had them sing "For Dead in Ohio."
Everyone plays guitar, everyone plays tambourine, everyone plays everything and sings everything.
Yeah.
We do have
everyone plays tambourine. That is accurate. That is like the one instrument that we can all handle is a tambourine, and that's a good one.
Well,
But you also make these incredibly bespoke Christmas videos, which we've mentioned once already. And these are really unique gems that take in your puppetry and the puppet shows that you've done and the music that you do. And I know that you often get neighbors and other people to help out and help create these videos with you. Can you explain a little bit about the aesthetic of your Christmas videos?
Well, we started making them really for our nieces and nephews and people like that, and for ourselves really, because we started, Hillary and I, at the beginning of our relationship, we'd go on vacation, we'd go camping, and we'd bring cameras and puppets, which, usually brought some looks when we were, unloading the gear at the campground. But we would find all kinds of interesting ways to shoot in a campground and make like our own entertainment, right? And then eventually Christmas came around. We said, hey, let's make a Christmas video. So we made one called Santa's Swingin' Christmas in 2004, which was lost until Hillary recovered it from a slightly damaged DVD. And it's now...
It was originally on VHS.
Yeah.
And we got that going.
Well, that's really exciting. I know that we have Constable Christmas, one of your most viewed ones on YouTube, ending our show. And I know that we're really excited to see that. And your YouTube information is going to be down in the description below, so people can find your work that way as well. And you're gonna be doing the news with us, correct?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. So we have you back for the news. So I can't wait to have you back for that. But speaking of all this music, I really want to introduce our next guest, who is a cabaret singer and a musician, and a comedian, and he does the holodeck follies and all sorts of things in Toronto. He's absolutely wonderful. He's the man with the velvet voice, Mr. Velvet Wells.
Hello, everybody. I am the man with the velvet voice. Oh, I love when people say that. Oh, my truth, it's just coming out. But actually, that's a lie. My voice is not made of velvet. That is a fabric. Happy holidays, everyone. Let's just do a song. Here we go. I improvise music. I just, audio track is now unavailable. Let's try this one. Let's see if this one's available. I just pick songs at random and I sing over top of it. If you want to live a lie, make sure that before they die, you don't tell grandma that she's a racist. If you want to have some Christmas cheer, don't whisper into her 80s ear, Grandma, you're a racist. Because we're decking the halls, we're not punching the walls, we're not walking around in just overalls, we're avoiding all the things that will cause some conflict. We're not trying to give the fruitcake to people who hate it. Oh wait, it's overrated, like letting grandma get away with saying the things that she does about the neighborhood kids she sees. If you're gonna do what you please, don't sit and watch waiting for grandma to sneeze and die and kill before saying that you're racist. This is a time to spend holiday cheering. Let's all smile from ear to ear and let's say it loud so she can hear. You've got to change this. Fa la 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 la, stop saying that stuff. Don't make us come over and be rough. Come on, Grandma. It cannot be that tough. We see you sticking stuff in your eggnog and stuff, and fa la la and deck your halls. We don't want to have to wash the walls after cleaning up the mess of all the regret and the sadness you caused, 'cause we never said that you are racist. There's some basis. It was a different time or places. Oh, come on, Grandma, nah, 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 nah. We're gonna do it different this year. We're gonna truly have some Christmas cheer. 'Cause Grandma, guess what? I'm queer, just take it. That's right, I'm not holding back. For you, you think you're gonna live to see the truth. It doesn't matter no more, 'cause I'm reclaiming my youth by just doing what I need to do. La la la, deck the halls. Come on, Grandma, I finally got the bones to tell you I'm not taking it now, 'cause you're racist. All right, that was it. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, that was fantastic.
I may have some feelings.
I think you do. Oh, my grandma who said racist things is dead now, so I get to not have to deal with that. That's, you know, she had her charms. No, she didn't have. The funny thing is that the racist one is usually not the charming one, right? Like the the alcoholic chain smoker who didn't say racist things was quite charming. But the one who said racist things was less so.
Yeah, and because there's family, and I mean, we've changed a lot. We've grown as a society a lot more emotionally intelligent, and so we're understanding how much harm there was by letting them just be. And thankfully, at least in my community, people are starting to wake up to taking care of yourself, like giving yourself permission to be respected, even by your family.
Even by your family, especially by your family.
Well, you hope.
I mean, you and I, we're both of a persuasion, and chosen family. The importance of that concept is also something that's been huge. Like, why would you consider anyone family who doesn't give you that respect?
Absolutely.
And if I have to give any amount of my time to those people on the holidays, it's very minimal, and I keep it very boxed and contained.
Right. Yeah. I have no problem being the person. Now, in my family, people have chilled out because that person's gone. But I have no problem in general if somebody is like that. I don't need to fight that fight. I am willing to take on the label of being grumpy today, and just like give them a face and just walk away and go somewhere else. It's like, oh, they seem to be avoiding me for some. Yeah. Let's just leave it. Now they get to be the one walking around like, I wonder what's going on. It's like now they have to do that emotional labor.
Give the racist the social anxiety and just relieve yourself of it. That is a decent plan. I have with some of my other white friends encouraged them to really question that. Like, isn't there someone in your life who you love who's a racist? Like, can you ask yourself that question? Can you answer that question honestly? Like. Yeah. And how does that make you feel being asked that? I remember asking that to a couple of people this summer and them being like, oh, I've never been asked that before. And I'm like, well, you probably do.
Yeah.
You need to own up to that. And maybe the next time you see them, you might want to have a conversation. Maybe not at the holidays. Maybe not when children are unwrapping their presents. Let them have their moment. But yeah, there's a time.
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of comedy across Toronto, and you are someone who programs other people, someone who creates stages for people. One of the big things that you've done is Holodeck Follies. I don't know if that one's still happening with the same frequency online, but you have something that's been happening every Monday. I heard you say before, so tell our audience a little bit about that.
Sure. I started a show called Crooner. It is a solo improvised album every week. I get a random album title, and then I get people to give me suggestions that fit songs that might fit that. And they're all made up song titles, but it gives me that mental exercise of trying to create and expand. I have a looper that I use, so I'm doing a cappella backing for myself. But I don't memorize what track numbers are. So it's as random as the song titles are. And then I go and I've started to transform the show into a bit of like a watch party or a listening party. So I have a little bit of artist commentary on each of the songs, either before or afterward, because I started the show because I needed to like anchor myself in the world of there's a Monday to Friday still for some people. And I had lost track of that. And I needed to connect with people in some way. So there's always been an interactive aspect to it, but doing this listening party, that's the intention, is getting even more engagement with people while I'm doing it. But the other thing I created it for was there is so much. You started off with this monologue of all the very heavy things happening in the world, and I needed a moment for myself because I was very triggered by a lot of, not yours, but the real stuff happening. And I needed like space for myself, mental, spiritual space of just being light and silly. Now that song that I just did was pretty pointed, but in general, most of the songs that I do are much lighter and sillier. And, I did a song the other day about a horse who wanted to buy a pool, and that's why he ran away from the farm. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, there's a metaphor in there if you really look for it, but mostly it was just about a horse. So that is the energy level and the seriousness of it, so that we have an hour where we just go, okay, that was a palate cleanse, and now back into the middle of the 7th tier of hell.
Wow, and we all need that palate cleanse right now. So thank you for providing that.
Thank
And
you.
speaking about the seventh tier of hell, we're going to do the news now. Are you ready for the news?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, we're going to bring back Mark and Hillary. Kristin's already here, and as they turn on their camera, I'll let you know, like, this is our regular segment, and what's going to happen is we're going to go round robin with some news stories that Kristin and I have found over the week. Kristin will explain the story and will tell us when she's done with us talking about it, because we will bore her. And I'll pick whether Velvet or the Gorceys get to start the conversation on any given topic. So Kristin, take it away.
Absolutely. One little technical note, Velvet, I think you might be sharing your sound through your computer, and it's making a bit of a lag between your face and your voice. Might be something going on with that. Just I noticed that just now. Anyway, yes, here we are. Welcome to... Sorry about that. Oh, I have some things to plug before we get started. Velvet, this wouldn't happen to be one of your albums, would it?
I wish.
No, that's not. That is a podcast that I am doing.
It was just here, and I didn't know what it was. Adam,
in January, I'm doing a podcast, everyone. So I got picked to write a story monologue that was 10 minutes based on a song that's independent artist wrote. And an actor's going to read it. It's going to be on this show.
Oh my
so
God.
That's coming up now. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Well, it's very exciting. We will link to it when it is available. You can also buy my new album. Pre-sales out now. This is me singing some weird ass music. It's great. Go and listen to it and buy it. I don't get any money if you do. I've already gotten paid for it, but it's all good. Support independent Canadian new music. And now it is time for, you can also support me and Adam. Like, just, like $1 or whatever. But actually, you should probably give money to someone else, like the charities we named earlier. But if you want to throw us $1 or $2, we will definitely take it. Now it is time for, this is a news segment. So, yay! This is where we talk about some of the news of the day. I like to put a disclaimer here where I say, we're not journalists. We're not, we're really just doing this for a laugh. So if we don't cover a story here that's important to you, it's not because we don't care or it wasn't important. It's just because we didn't think it would make for good jokes, or we just didn't want to. So first up, gay penguin power couple hatches another chick and they may be grandparents soon. I'm forgetting which zoo this happened at, but this is a famous pair of a gay penguin couple who stole an egg and hatched a chick, and they are still at their parenting mischief, and one of their chicks is now nearing maturity.
So has this been on Fox News yet?
I don't believe so, no. Why?
Well, we might as well head it off now. Just go straight to the comments section. Get ready.
Do they do the gay penguin watch on Fox News? I didn't think so. I know that one zoo, there's so much gay penguin drama that they actually have a flow chart of like who has dated who and who has taken eggs from who and how that has all happened. But the fact that there is a power couple, that there is a gay couple of penguins that are more powerful than the other gay penguins, that tracks. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
Power couples get too much attention. Just the regular gay penguin couple should get more attention.
I feel like this couple, just pure what Adam and I were speaking about chosen family. They literally are going out and going, "You're part of our family now." You just
We choose the two.
It's all lessons. The teaching. My husband and I, we actually had our groomsmen on our wedding cake. We didn't want to break up a straight set that was like, and like, because then you see the broken, like, that's dumb. We didn't want that. And so we got 2 penguins because they're already wearing tuxedos. And it was also a signal that, like, this is natural. This is something that happens in all animals in nature. And if you have any arguments about us getting married, you're wrong, because the penguins say so.
Well, on that note, our next story. No game days, no bars. The pandemic is forcing some men to realize they need deeper friendships. There's a whole lot of data about how straight men in general do not have friends after a certain age, or their friends are all located in the workplace or in, as they say, bars and in around sporting events. And that in general, straight women are better at maintaining social connections outside of their families. And that, the lack of things to do is part of what is showing a lot of problems. Any thoughts?
So Mark, as our straight white male, what do you think? Do we need to be concerned for you?
No, first of all, I think this is fake news because I get all my news from the Home and Garden Network. If that's to be believed, then every house has a man cave. So if every house has a man cave, obviously the guys aren't in the cave by themselves. They're inviting all their friends over to watch football, share nachos, get COVID, look at, gay porn, whatever they do. I don't know. I don't do any of that. I don't have any friends, though, so I don't know.
He just confirmed it.
If I can speak for the men here, I'd like to say that when we moved into this neighborhood, I instantly was able to access a network of new moms because I was a new mom, too. And I feel like that we have this ongoing stream of consciousness, small groups about babies and what our husbands are so wacky they do this and that. And I feel like I do have a really close network of people, and there's no dad Facebook group.
No, there is. You just don't know about it.
Well, I kind of want to get started for them.
We're doing West Side Story in February.
No, I do actually think that that's true, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's sad actually. Guys are not trained to get along. They're not socialized to just hang out and be friends and just not be competitive. So it ends up sometimes causing problems. I mean, this is kind of anecdotal, but it does seem to be a thing.
We hope it's only just because of COVID temporarily, but
yeah,
I think that we need to do something, ladies.
We need to have an intervention for men.
Sorry, what's that?
Velvet, do you have any advice for the straight men?
Well, I have found, all of my straight male friends have ghosted me. So I think they're going through this exact problem. Well, not ghosted as in canceled, but I think that they're all isolated and, trying to figure this out. I find that of my friends who are of a persuasion or are more woke, I find that if you have multiple avenues to connect with people, so it's, whether it's games, sports, video games, whether it's chat, whatever those different ways you can connect with people, that, you still may not be connecting deeply with individuals, but you're getting that need met across a range. And I find that if I go on Facebook, I can tell when somebody has a cry for help when they post a dad joke. It's oh, okay, they need a little bit of affirmation. They need something to go, yeah, haha.
I now feel terrible because every time someone posts a dad joke, if it's a real groaner, I just boo them.
Oh no, that's good. That is the height of a compliment, right? Because if you boo, that means you were affected. Thank you for letting me, because still, emotions are, you're still competitive with the emotion, which is dumb, but at least it's oh, good, I affected you. Got you.
Oh, sweet emotions. I think this is something that tracks with some of the men that I know too. I know that it happens in the gay community as well. I know this article tracked to the straight men, but I know that loneliness is part of gay men's health issues, and but that's the thing. There are gay men's health networks, and so it has been recognized as an actual mental health issue within the LGBT community, and I don't think that's there for straight people.
Right.
So I think the mutual care advocacy that happens within minority groups, straight men might lose out a little bit on that, and might not have the same flag on that issue that we've pointed out today. So everyone, call your straight male friends. Give them a call over the holidays. That's one of the things the elf would want you to
do. That's right. Listen to Dave the Elf.
Friendships.
Yeah. Make friends adopt a straight man and make him your friend. All right. So maybe someone out there who is able to listen to and befriend all of these lonely straight men. Former Israeli space security chief says aliens exist, but humanity is not ready. So this might be the second story we've done about some kind of government official claiming that, aliens are totally real. There was some guy from the Pentagon who did the same thing. So this is some dude whose name I've forgotten, who was high up in the Israeli government, said, the Galactic Federation is what he called them. He's been in contact with Israel and the U.S. Oddly enough, just them. But they're keeping themselves secret because humanity is not ready. And I have to say, A, yeah, they're probably right. But B, I don't know, maybe they can make an exception and help us out here.
Velvet, do aliens need to be better allies?
No, I think they are doing the right thing. Look, I love Star Trek. I love the idea of the Federation. That I knew that they are real. I knew it. My tinfoil hat is off because I'm ready to be beamed up. But not in our current state. Like, if we're going to follow the Star Trek lineage, we have to hit our third world war and figure our shit out before they come and go, okay, let's see what you got. But, like, the way it is right now, like, we are still so divided. Who are they going to decide to be an ally to? Like, and as much as Canada is a little better than the States, it's not really. We got a lot of stuff we need to work out, and we're progressive compared to a lot of other countries around the world.
Yeah, but who says they come to us? Maybe they go to New Zealand. They've got things worked out there.
Actually, yeah, they can have that. They deserve it. They have earned it. The way that they've handled COVID and all of the other things down. I mean, I want to be a Kiwi. Like, now I want to be a Kiwi, like, or a penguin. I don't know. I want to.
You're close in the world.
You know, I mean, they will tell you there is a difference, but you know, from up here,
One thing.
And from the aliens, I mean, the aliens may be looking at the penguins and going, "They've got it figured out." Like, that's how you
would be able to figure. Like, I think he would be able to communicate with them pretty well. We could have some good conversations between Taika and the aliens, and he could, you know, make a poignant, silly point for the rest of us, you know, like he's so good at. Hillary, what do you think about these aliens?
I just think if this guy knows so much about it, is he the one who's telling them, like, they're not ready? You can't come here yet. Like,
maybe he's a bad representative. Maybe they met that guy and they're like, oh no.
Maybe it's like The Bachelor, yeah. Maybe like he got sent home. He got his rose, he got sent home. It's like, oh.
True.
Well, speaking of space and getting voted off the island, so astronauts are all smuggling booze into space, and I have to say, wouldn't you? Because they spend like 4 months on the International Space Station for their tours of duty, and that's a long time to go without a drink. But I was wondering, how do they manage to do this? Because it's like the cost of getting anything into space is like, it's something insane, like $10,000 per 100 grams or something like that. So how that's some pretty expensive bottle of vodka. So apparently what they do is they go on crash diets and lose a whole bunch of weight, and they make up that weight in alcohol. And stick it like inside their space boots and stuff like that.
Okay, Mark, we need to hear from you. This is what cocktail would you smuggle into space?
Well, I only drink mud shakes, which I think is an important thing to know about me. I feel like there's so many levels of what WTF with this story. It's like, just give them booze. They're risking their lives. Like, just let them bring a beer. Like, come on. Like, is it that bad? Or like whatever they want, acid, Coke, like have a party up there.
The day you're hungover is the day that
the Galactic Federation shows up.
Emergencies are floating around and you know, they're on camp. I don't know, like they're in space. Like, give them, like, they should be able to, like, they're in space. Like, give them acid. Somebody.
A commenter on our YouTube channel just suggested they should give them those alcoholic goo pouches, which I know, you know, they have those like baby food pouches, right?
That's what I drink.
Yeah, give them like some Tang with vodka in it.
Smuggle alcohol back from Mexico, not to outer space. Like, if you buy a tequila and you bought too many tequilas to bring back from Mexico, they have the goo pouches and you pour, but the bottles are so nice. But tequila that's really good costs like $30 in Mexico and costs like $200 in Canada. And so people find value in smuggling tequila in goo bags from Mexico to Canada to space. That's the next step.
The pipeline, the space pipeline.
Well, they have to ask those canoers, like the people who go on these canoe trips up to Algonquin. They manage to take booze somehow in powdered form.
Powdered everything, like powdered vodka, powdered acid, whatever they
Actually,
need.
they astronaut food.
Give
they
them
bring.
acid.
Camping is bullshit. Just people who, my aunt does that, and I love her. Not my aunt, my cousin does that, and she lets me live in her house in Edmonton when I tour out there. But she also like leaves all the windows open with no heating, and it's freezing all the time. And she's like, "This is how we're meant to sleep," and I'm like, "No."
Adam, I didn't know you were German. That's what German people do. It's like you leave the
She's
windows
dating
open.
a German. She's dating a German guy.
There you
That's
go.
I'm not German. I'm Welsh.
I know. That's what I thought. Well, maybe if she's also making you take vitamins, then that's conclusive. Speaking of people who are probably drunk and making bad decisions, so this is our first ever story from Quebec in French. Manifestation devant la résidence du Premier Ministre. So there was a protest in front of what these protesters thought was the house of our Premier François Legault. It was not the house of François Legault. It was just some random person whose last name was also Legault. And what makes this an even dumber story is that this house is in Westmount, which is like the most Anglo neighborhood of Montreal. We talked about Westmount earlier because Kamala Harris, when she lived in Montreal, went to Westmount High School. So these galaxy brains like looked in the phone book or something like that, found a Legault, and then went to their house and protested in front of it. This is a set of the anti-mask protesters that we have here, which is a huge and very troubling movement, which I could say more about. But yeah,
Mark, you're our francophone. You get to go first.
I'm representing all these groups today. I don't know if I'm comfortable with
Straight male francophones. These are the groups
Yeah.
that you get to know.
I hope my mom.
You're a segment. You are.
My mom's watching and said, okay, so this is, I think the way is clear now for all of us in our cohort here, reasonable, intelligent Canadians. The monarchy has always been there. Let's just go back. We don't need this democracy crap anymore. This is what happens when you open the door, let everybody voice their opinion. They're like, well, I think there's a Bill Gates is trying to come in my house and ship me. Monarchy.
Okay, so the first French person ever to ask for the monarchy to have more power in Canada. You have it on our show, everybody. That's a wrap.
It's been a long time coming that I think we're here.
Democracy must Legault is your platform.
Hey, I didn't say British democracy. I want Louis the 14th to come back.
oh, that guy's on Twitter. The guy who claims to be the heir to the French monarchy is on Twitter, and he's nuts. Like, go look him up. It's really funny. Yeah.
Okay, Kristin, what did you just say? He's nuts compared to what? QAnon?
Oh no, he's not that
I know
nuts.
who he is, and I want him to be our king.
Yeah.
I think we all agree, monarchy.
I actually like the fact that I don't like the fact that they harassed this individual. That's not fair for them. But if it means that they are so out of the way of affecting any actual change, they can come over here. I haven't left the house in forever. They can protest all they want out in front. They can sing carols in English and French. That's fine. I mean, I don't celebrate, but I don't celebrate. They're at the wrong house anyway. So let them do what they want to do.
I think it'd be fun for people to have their own personal protesters come around, kind of like caroling.
Yeah.
Really
It's like a new
caroling.
Uber app.
Hey, as a Welsh person, I miss my wassailing, and so bring me back some people coming and demanding booze at the door. I want it. That's my holiday tradition, and I miss it.
Wow.
They'd all have all their little things, and they'd be like,
They've requested some protesting here, so let's make our way there.
Yeah, vaccination. Like,
Well, I
Yeah,
think we
your
can move
signs
on to the
say-
next story before
Yes.
Quebec takes over everything, as it always does.
As it always does. Enjoy your poutine and maple syrup. All right, now it is time for news from Finland, which I really ought to make a theme song for. So our first news from Finland, Jupiter and Saturn are to rare Christmas star alignment to be visible over. Oh, hello, Dave the Elf.
Hello, I'm back again. You're talking about a Nordic country.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add? There's going to be a really cool thing that's going to look like a Christmas star because two planets will look like they're in front of each other.
Wow, that sounds almost like the Jesus story. You know, they saw a big star. Put a
Oh, Oh no, Dave the Elf is fading out of existence.
It's
Everyone
because
believe in
the
Dave the
planets have misaligned. It's ruined the Wi-Fi.
It's not that elves aren't real, it's that they were real,
Yeah,
and now
so
because we don't believe in them, they're becoming less and less real. And
Right.
we're watching that happen with Dave the Elf in live time.
Oh,
Everyone, believe.
I believe.
believe in you, Dave.
It
Well,
worked.
Oh.
Oh no.
There goes Dave. Oh.
Well, I know that this was interesting to us because the Finnish people who we do a lot of work on with this show are people that claim that Santa Claus is from their country, much like Canada does, and much like Turkey does for reasons. The original Saint Nick was Turkish or Greek.
No, that's all wrong.
What?
And it's wrong. Only people who are geographically challenged would think that Santa's from Finland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
'cause,
So all Finnish people are geographically challenged?
well, if you go north of Finland, what do you hit?
I am not good. I am geographically challenged.
Geographically
so I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It could
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
I think it's the 410.
Yeah, you go north of Finland, you hit Norway. So if you're a parent there and you're saying, oh, Santa comes from up north, it's not going to be from Helsinki. It's going to be from Oslo. Just
All right.
saying.
So Finland is doing great things as well as having a Christmas star. They are covering IVF. So if you have fertility problems in Finland, the government will pay for your fertility treatment. And the first babies from this new policy are now being born. So there's a Christmas story. We have a star and we have some miracle babies.
So yeah, they're giving not the sperm, which every country has now. Well, not every country, but most have now. But they also have an egg bank now that they're doing that with. So
Norway did it first.
No, Ontario funded IVF 2 years ago.
But this
Yeah.
is the first publicly accessible one. Like there is some reason why it's bigger news than.
I think it's that here you're not allowed to buy eggs. You have to wait for someone to give them to you.
Yeah.
So this is a public sector one that they have there, so it's a little bit different.
Our
What
egg
do you-
marketing boards have a real stranglehold on.
That's right. Get cracking.
All right. Well, let's say goodbye to Dave the Elf, who appears to be frozen again.
No, he's not.
Thank you.
Well, he's from
for
Finland.
popping
Of
in.
course he's frozen.
And, this concludes news from Finland. Moving on, monoliths. So there was a monolith in the Utah desert, which is now gone, and a giant wooden penis was stolen off of a mountain in Germany, which no one knows how it got there in the first place. Someone, they thought it was perhaps a prank. Perhaps the weirdest theory was a group of lads, here's some male friendship for you, made it for their friend's birthday. He said, "Why are you giving me a giant wooden penis?" So they dragged it up onto the mountain and left it there for the past decade or so. And then someone cut it down. So perhaps we can, I believe there was one other monolith. I can't remember where it was. But we'll have a monolith off. What would you rather have? A giant wooden penis or a triangular piece of metal?
Like in my possession?
Yeah.
I'm just
A triangular piece of metal. This is like a false dilemma.
This is
I can choose not to choose.
The giant piece of metal will allow you, because it's triangular, to measure things in metric and imperial and all sorts of different units, because you can turn it on different sides and get different measurements that way. It's basically a large triangle ruler. So it's practical, but isn't the giant penis practical too?
it also is a unit, so you turn it at different angles.
It was an absolute unit, and now it's a pile of wood shavings on a mountain somewhere.
Do you think they stole it just to destroy it?
That's
Well,
a different. That's a different kind of Burning Man. Just saying.
What do we have next, Kristin?
Oh, this is a funny story. I
It's a
wasn't
statement.
sure about this one, but Adam, I looked it up and you sold me on it. Pogue singer Shane MacGowan to be subtitled in a new film about his life. And I was like, why is this a story? What is this? And then I found a video of Shane MacGowan talking. So I'm going to play that.
Well, today is the day of the tech issues. We are
So
not
this,
gonna-
so this is what it's like when my
He's very
neighbor's in
quiet
East-
talking. I understand the subtitles now. Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Sorry, I think it just didn't hear my computer sound. Yeah, so let me try that again.
It started to go.
Share computer sound. There we go.
Tell me about coming to this pub. I mean, you're not that guy from the Pogues.
Yeah, I'm just saying here, yeah, on them, they take the piss out of me, that's fair enough.
Say that again.
I understood him.
That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like when my neighbors in East Montreal try to talk to me in French, and I'm like, I theoretically speak this language, but it's a bit of a stretch. So the BBC has insisted on adding subtitles to Shane MacGowan when he speaks in this documentary about his life because he's incomprehensible.
Do they follow him around with a guy with like a subtitle, screen so that when he's talking to neighbors and things like that, everyone can read it?
Well, like surtitles at the opera, right? These
Yeah.
guys come on all the time.
Interpreter.
Drunk Gaelic English. That's no one can understand. But it's not the first time. Go on.
I was going to say, like, I remember from cartoons that you'd have like the thought bubbles or the speech bubbles that would appear. Like, I would love that in real life, to be able to like see what somebody's saying or what they're thinking, and like it would just clarify so much of what's going on interpersonally. I would love it, especially to know what my neighbors think. Sometimes I see them behind the curtain. I know they're there. I would love to see that thought bubble come out to go, peekaboo, I see you.
What's he doing now?
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of know what Shane MacGowan's thinking, though.
He's thinking,
Like, I want another drink. He's like,
yeah.
Yeah, fuck the English and I want another drink. These are the two things that he's probably
So it is just like Quebec. All right.
Yeah.
And our last
think
story
it's-
of the night. New Batman will be black, DC Comics announces. So this is a guy who is supposedly, I read this, but I've forgotten, the estranged, some of it's here, the estranged son of Bruce Wayne's business manager, and is now going to be the new Batman for some reason. I don't know. I don't really read comics. It's, but yeah.
Lucius
here's-
Fox.
Yes, it's Lucius Fox's son is going to be the next Batman.
okay. All right.
I mean, I don't hate the idea. I mean, can you zoom in? Actually, I see how much I don't hate the idea. But
Sure, I'll share
no,
it
like,
again.
yeah. I just want to check them out. I just need a minute. I don't hate the idea, but for me, of all the superheroes, Batman isn't a superhero. He's a very rich guy with toys. So yeah, I would love to see that. I mean, it's basically a reboot of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So like, I'm cool with that. But I just, I want him to have real power. I want him, like, if he's still doing the same things that Batman does, I don't care.
Well, I mean, I think I'm gonna go on the other side of that one now, because for me, growing up on the DC cartoons and the comic books, I like the movies. Batman just punches a lot, right? But like in the cartoon stories and in all the comic books, he's a detective, and one of the great things about him is his mind. And one of the interesting things about Batman is, in the Super Friends universe, he was always the one that kids could look up to and see that anyone could be a superhero. The idea of Batman was like Darkseid would come in from outer space, and he would see a planet with a bunch of superheroes, and so he would come up with a device that would like nullify everyone with a superpower. And so the only superhero left would be Batman, because Darkseid forgot that Batman was a superhero,
Right.
and Batman would save the day. He'd beat like this new god, and it was very exciting stuff. And I think times have changed, and so saying anyone can be a superhero, look at this white billionaire, anyone can be a superhero, look at this black. I think there's a difference in that messaging, and I think it says something when you allow someone else to wear the cowl who's not Bruce Wayne, and I think it can send that same message out strongly. That's my thought on it.
Meanwhile, back at the Justice League, Batman, like, yeah, I hear you. And in a capitalist society, I understand that is like that is such the American dream of anybody can rise to this ultimate thing. I absolutely do agree with the detective side of that, and I love that. And Lucius Fox was a cool character, so I love that it's coming up through that way as opposed to some kind of genetic clone or alternate universe version of it. It's honoring that intelligence that you were just speaking to. So I'm on board with it. I mean, I'm on board with it one way or the other. But of the superheroes, to me, he is a least interesting version of Black Panther.
Ooh, I think I get that reference. Well, that's enough Batman talk for this week. And I think that's it for the news for today.
Fantastic. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Velvet, once more time, can you remind people where they can find your work online?
You look up Velvet Duke, you will find me.
Excellent. And Kristin, before we go, can you remind people where they can find our stuff online, our other stuff that's not this?
Yeah, I guess so. You can, Adam, you have that podcast we talked about before that I've already forgotten the name of.
Streams and Variations.
Streams and Variations. You can buy my album at bit.ly/smalldistantworld. You can follow this show on Facebook, and you can like and subscribe on YouTube. Don't leave any comments, though. We're too lazy to moderate.
Before we go, Mark and Hillary, because you're exiting the show for us today, can you tell everyone where they can find you online?
Yeah. It is
YouTube channel
playlist, and it is a long URL.
It's in the box underneath this video.
And if you Google Gorcey Xmas videos, a few will definitely pop up.
Okay.
Gorcey, because we're the only Gorceys in the whole country.
In Canada, yeah.
Well, we're going to exit with one of your songs, Constable Christmas. We come back January 23rd. We already have Matthew Ardill from Toronto, who's a podcaster and a comedian, and Lara Ray, who's a comedian and poet and playwright from Winnipeg, joining us. They're both fantastic, and we'll have so many things to cover because it will be the Saturday after the inauguration of Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris. And I love smart women, and I'm so happy that she's there. Let's have a Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
So you can always buy a coffee for me and Adam, or not. I'm just getting everyone here. And let's go on now to some Constable Christmas.
Please don't cheat. Constable Christmas is on the beat. Constable Christmas has his eye on you.
I have my eye on you, children.
Check the holly, check the tree. Constable Christmas, LPP. Constable Christmas has his eye on you. I like Santa, I like Frosty, Rudolph's just okay. But Constable Christmas monitors the situation Christmas Day. Christmas dog and Christmas fish, why not make a Christmas wish? Constable Christmas is here to keep the peace. There is Chuck the Christmas horse, that's his partner on the force. Constable Christmas holiday police. I like Santa, I like Frosty, Christmas is the best. If you're bad, then Constable Christmas will place you under arrest. Now we're done our Christmas song.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Constable, Christmas time is here. Now we're done our Christmas song.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Constable, Christmas time is here.
Merry Christmas, children. You're under arrest.